If you do everything that I tell you in this video, I have no doubts that you'll have a consistently profitable trading career. Eventually. I can't tell you when. I can't tell you when it's going to happen. Could be years and years down the road, but it'll happen for you eventually if you really grasp what I teach you here. Once I really grasp this was the second that I became a profitable trader. This was the very moment that it happened for me. This was that what you would call a light bulb moment, okay? And it changed everything for me. And it's not anything on the chart. So if that's what you want, just click off right now. The 90% crowd, you can click off right now and continue to lose money. But this is more of a psychology lesson, okay? And as you guys know, psychology is more important than what's on the chart, because if you don't have your mind right, then nothing will be right in the charts either. You will fail to find consistent results if you don't have the right mindset. Now, 2014, I started trading. Started with $2,000. And a lot of you know that story. It didn't take me long at all. It didn't take me long at all to lose that money. What ended up happening to me was I took a couple losses and my ego took a hit, because I'm a very competitive individual. I do not like to lose. Now, of course, at this point, I've learned to accept it. I know it's a part of the game. But back then, it didn't sit right with me. I took it personal whenever, I was losing money. I took a few L's in a row, and it ate away at me. And I took it as a personal challenge. It wasn't even about the money, but I tried to enforce my will on the market because I wanted that win. I wanted to come out on top. And, well, as I'm sure a lot of you have been in this boat before, it's like someone else takes over. And before you know it, you're in a hole. You're in a hole and you just, I just spiraled out of control. I spiraled out of control, and before you know it, boom, all my money was gone. It didn't take me long at all because, after these L's, I would just keep increasing size, and then I would hold, and I would just not respect my stop out areas, and it was a mess. It was a mess. And I ended up draining that entire account, which to me at that time was a lot of money. That was a lot of money to me then, and it was very painful. It was very, very painful whenever I lost all that money. But here's what I did. I was sitting there and I was staring at an empty account balance. All that money that I had saved up from working my dead-end job that I absolutely hated, that soul-killing job that I desperately wanted to escape. All that money gone just like that, because I could not control my emotions. And guess what? I had a working strategy. That's why when people say all you need is a working strategy to be successful, bullshit. I had a working strategy, but I still failed. So why? Because my psychology. I had the working strategy. I knew exactly what I should be doing, but I still failed. So it means there's more to it. But I was sitting there. And you know what a lot of people do in this scenario? You know what a lot of people do? You know what the 90% crowd will do in this scenario? They're going to look for someone to blame. Okay? Prop firms is a big one now that people like to blame. And sometimes it's even justified. I mean, prop firms, plenty of them, they've done, dirty stuff, but it still doesn't assist you. You might blame your educator, your guru, your family, your friends. Oh, dang it. If my family, if my friends, they didn't get in my head, if they didn't, their bad energy, it just didn't, it rubbed off on me and affected my trade, and I wasn't in a good headspace because of them, or my educator, he taught me wrong, or dang, these retail trading concepts are the reason that I fail. That broker, it's out to get me. All right, there's so many different excuses. Whenever you lose money, that's like a knee-jerk reaction, is just to look for, something else to put the blame on, right? But what I did whenever I blew that account up and I was sitting there, I didn't blame my guru. I didn't blame my broker. I didn't blame no one but myself for what I did. This very simple thing, if you really did this and you took this advice seriously, you would start to see progress, considering you have the strategy and all that stuff set, ready to go. If you learn how to take accountability, a lot of you would start to see progress because it's all on you. It's your fault that you fail. And now you can actually look at your mistakes rationally, and you can start making the proper steps to improve those mistakes. You can't really do that if you're putting it on somebody else, because it gives you an escape. It allows you to just brush it off because it was somebody else's fault. And a lot of people, they just love being the victim. They're addicted to it. They're addicted to being that victim, which goes into even deeper psychological issues, but we're not going to get too deep into that in this video. But by taking that accountability, you allow yourself to start making proper steps in the correct direction. It's nobody's fault but yourself. Every single failure 100% your fault. 100% your fault. Own it. Look what you did wrong, because each of these L's that you take, or not always a lesson, because sometimes you're just wrong, but a lot of the L's that you take, especially when you're a beginner, is just lessons. Look at the lesson, look at what you did wrong, and improve. It's that simple. And if you do that day in, day out, you always strive to end the day better than when you started. That doesn't mean with more money. It just means with more experience, more knowledge. You do that day in, day out. That effort, it compounds. That experience, it compounds. And if you're taking accountability and you're truly giving your all, I have no doubts you'll make it. I have no doubts, because most people, they're not doing that. They're just not. Most people, they have a losing mindset, and that's the reason that they lose. So I just wanted to share that, because that was like a key pivotal moment for me. And if you fail to take accountability, well, then you're just going to stay in that hamster wheel of losing money, of, just running in the same place year after year after year. And you're going to wake up 5 years from now in the same position you're in now, no progress made, still having your goals not obtained. And that should scare you. That should absolutely frighten you. Take the proper steps. Now is the time. Stop waiting.